The following Earth Angel media presentation is brought to you commercial-free as a gratuity from the sponsor producer named after the show. Please consider their message. Find other high-value shows listed at earthangelproject.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Soul Decodes. Join us as we wander off the path to find the ideas that fascinate. We talk about spirituality, the mind, the ego, wellness, and hidden history with tips, travels, and tales. Charms for a better life.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Dr. Tia Jolie. Phillips, you're listening to Soul Decodes. And guess what? It's episode number, there's a number here, 47.
47.
47 already. I'm with Sarah Tirri. She's my co-hostess. She's an author and a thinker, philanthropist.
Hello, everyone.
And we have a guest in the house.
Yes, we do. So we have my niece, Zhenya. This is Sally's daughter. Sally I've spoken about on air, and she passed away 7 months ago. So she's over here, and my son got married, so she was here for the wedding, and then we're going for a vacation to Mexico.
So we're going to probably talk about the wedding and and maybe there's probably some stories there. Well, before we jump into it, I want to let everyone know you can find our stuff at souldecodes.com. I want to welcome in the house today Bangladesh.
Oh,
Bangladesh.
I got stuck in a monsoon there once in a bus.
Well, there's a story.
No, it wasn't really. We pulled over and we had to just stay seated in this bus on the side of the road where the water was just, it was nuts.
Well, so
but it was dramatic and exciting.
Almost every place I mention, you've got a story.
I know, well, I've been to most of them.
It's crazy talk. Okay, so this
I was a flight attendant for British Airways, so I travelled the world when I was 20 to 25.
And there's that. So that's awesome news. And then we also have North York.
Where, in America or England?
Toronto.
Toronto.
So welcome to North York.
North York.
In Toronto. Yay.
Toronto's lovely.
So that's exciting. And then finally, believe it or not, we had all the areas around Miami, but we finally got Miami.
Oh, nice.
Like the dead center right downtown Miami. So
love it. My daughter was born in Miami is another story.
What?
Seriously.
You have a child born every place I mentioned.
Every place, darling. Gave birth in every port.
You're just popping them out all over the place. Anyway, so there's that. And so we're getting going. Hopefully the mic levels are better today than last week. Okay. But get us going. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, so last night, so I've just been renovating my house and I bought this new couch in green. And it's in the living room. It's a TV room. There's a big TV on the wall. And I hadn't watched a movie since it was there. So Zhenya and I decided to have a movie night. So we got blankets, we got our drinks, and we sat down. And then we bought this movie. Now, I'm not going to say what the title is, but I'm going to describe it. It's one word, and it's a lady that stands on her toes and dances wearing a tutu. Okay, that's the name of the movie. And I don't know what the body count of death was. What do you think, Zhenya, at the end? So all it was a load of fucking people shooting each other, killing each other graphically, violently, from start to finish. There was no psychological depth to any of it. And we were just sitting there. The only reason we finished it is because we're both very curious, but it wasn't gripping us.
It was just you're watching and saying, is there anything redemption? Is there any redemption here? Is there anything redeeming?
Yes, and it was. And then I just started to think this morning about, so you wouldn't want to have an 8-year-old watch that because it's a massive desensitization. You've just made killing just a banality.
You've normalized it.
Normalized it. And that's absolutely awful, I thought. That how have we, because, I mean, there were rough shows when I was growing up, but nothing as graphic and as mindless as just brutal killing. And I think it sucks. I think it sucks that movies are produced like that.
Thank you
for what fucking reason?
Thank you for not mentioning the name of it, because I would never want to promote that.
No,
in any aspect of it.
No, I wouldn't either. It's just like such garbage. Nothing. It's not going to stimulate. But it's the desensitization. You just got to be careful because you can become numb to things. You don't want to numb society.
No, yeah, I mean, one thing let me ask you a question. Do you know of any books that you've read in the past, besides your own, other books, where there was a movie that came out and the movie was better than the book?
No, but I think that I can't remember. I think maybe one time, but generally no. Just like 99% no. What about you, Zhenya?
What about Zhenya?
Can you remember a book or a movie that... No, I can't.
So I got to thinking about this, because I've read some really, really good books. Like one of my best examples is a book called Atlas Shrugged. Have you ever heard of Atlas Shrugged?
No.
Okay. Girlfriend.
What's the premise of it?
There's multiple messages, but the idea is that there are...
Is this non-fictional fiction?
Well, I think it's pretty real. It depends on who you ask. It's written as fiction.
Okay.
But it's kind of set in the 40s and 50s, right when America was getting mobilized. Might have been a little earlier, but it might have been earlier than that because the trains were getting in and the oil companies were getting... So it was probably earlier than that. But the thing is, it's been a long time since I read it, obviously, but it was actually one of the first gifts that Robin gave me.
Nice.
It was probably 30 years ago. She gifted me this book. It's about this big.
Oh, great.
I still read it, even though there was no pictures.
Yeah, I know.
And it was a chapter book, but it was a really long read. But I finished it.
Well, it must have been gripping.
It was a good book. But when the actual movies came out, there was like a three-part movie, like a trilogy. Mm-hmm. I was pretty disappointed. I mean, it was good, but it was nowhere close to what the book was.
Or what your imagination did with what the book conveyed to you.
And that's what I was going to say.
So your imagination was way superior than the people making it.
And that's what I was going to say. When you're reading a book, you have a relationship with the author.
Yeah.
The author's telling a story, but you have your eyes closed and you're literally creating the images in your own brain. Mm-hmm. Like when I read your books, the images I created in my brain are going to be different than anybody else's.
You listen to the Star Side Prophecy, but when you're reading a book...
No, I read the other books too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but when you're reading a book, you're still reliant, even because I like to listen as well. I do both. So I can be there with my eyes closed, but I'll listen to non-fiction. But when I'm reading fiction, you're like you say, you have a relationship with the author. The author, if they're good, and your mum was really good at this, Zhenya, her mum was a poet, she could convey a scene, and you have to... Then it's the interpretation of the person watching. So with you've just got all this imagery in your head about what he's writing about. And I think from reading you can get that, but the imagery on a movie, it's already there for you, isn't it? It's not like you have to do anything, you're just looking at that. So
well, and that's the point is when you're watching a movie, it's somebody else's creation. Mm-hmm. It's their interpretation, and you're watching a derivative instead of the raw what you're creating in your own mind.
Yeah.
So I think it's
probably
relevant.
disappointing to watch a movie from the book you've read then.
Well,
just watch a movie where you haven't read the book.
And truthfully, that's why we don't watch many movies. We're constantly disappointed. It's like we're always disappointed. I would rather... And this
what was one of your favourite movies? Do you have any just throughout your life?
I mean, there would be different favorites. I used to have favorites when I was younger, but now that I know that most of our history is biased, it's mangled, it's biased, it's flat out false.
So I watched that video you sent me this morning. I didn't watch all of it, and that was the St. Charles Cathedral in Vienna. And it was very funny. I loved his sarcasm, that guy. And as he walked you through it, and it was absolutely wonderful. And it really is mind-boggling that you have that massive cathedral. And he called it, we didn't have toilet paper back then. We were wiping our asses with our hands. We had donkeys. We didn't have power tools. And then suddenly this church gets erected by a 22-year-old yokel boy. And it's like, it's madness.
Yeah,
because it's like,
but his point is well taken.
And then the plague happened, so it wiped loads of people out. I mean, it was
when you do the historical forensics, there's almost nothing makes sense. Most of us just take things that, well, I learned this in 5th grade, it must be the truth.
Yeah.
And we never question it after that.
No, but that's bizarre in itself, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
we just accept it. I mean, I can accept. I could have accepted it because I wasn't around in the 17th century. I'm not seeing it. It's not in my life. I could just accept the narrative that they built that. But I don't now, particularly, because when I look at that, it's not even credible. It doesn't make sense that you could do that in such a short time with limited manpower.
Well, I would encourage you. I think he's got
like 97 of them. He's got a whole series of these.
Yeah. So for those,
he's very funny.
For those questioning what this is about, you can find it on Rumble, I think, but there's other. It's probably in other places, but it's called My Lunch Break.
That's right.
My Lunch Break.
Yeah, it's a good title.
I don't know the individual that did it, but I've been watching his stuff really since his first. I think I watched his first one. I've not watched all 97, but he's got some really good stuff. And the idea is that, look...
And you get good visuals. He's showing you really good pictures of these churches, so you get a visual feast as you're listening to this.
It's both inductive and deductive reasoning. It's like, this is what you're being told. Mm-hmm. This is what the world... How
credible is it?
How in the world are we driving horses and buggies, wiping our butts with our hands...
Dealing with plague.
Dealing with the plague.
Our life expectancy was only, 30 at
and
most.
In all of Vienna, you only had maybe 30,000 working age... able-bodied people.
And then the skill set to the architect.
And you're building.
Who's the architect? Who came up with...
And you're going to have this competition.
That's right.
We're going to have a competition, not just one palace, but there's 4 palaces, and we're going to have a competition because that'll take our mind off the plague. So anyway, that's good stuff. So you had the wedding, and then it was the 4th of July weekend.
Yes.
And,
mine was peaceful. We didn't see any fireworks, and I slept. You heard them. So she's in the cabana, and it was just gunpowder going off all night long. So you get all that. I worry about the animals. We had a conversation about that.
So this is interesting you bring that up, because I used to, as a child, I used to love fireworks.
And I don't like hearing them. I like looking at them. They're loud.
But even looking at them, when you know what the fireworks are, okay, we're in Lake County, Florida. Lakes. Our lakes are the most beautiful thing we have going for us, right? Yeah. It's Lake County. So here we are. We're going to take these explosives, and in order to make those colors, there's specific metals they use. And those metals are not friendly to fish. They're not friendly to humans. No. They're not friendly. So we're going to take these and we're going to blow them up over our lakes and let all the metal settle in the water.
Yeah.
That's like so not okay with me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I've never really thought about that. I've loved them visually, but you're absolutely right.
Just do some deep dives on those.
We talked about it the following morning. And it's like, what are the animals doing just with that noise? It's absolutely awful. Well, but let alone all the components and shit that's going into the lake.
So I have a friend of mine that has not yet been paid by the city of Groveland for work he did a couple months ago. This guy's just paying... He's trying to pay his bills month to month to month. He's just a normal guy trying to pay his bills, and they're behind paying him. What do they owe him? A couple grand maybe, whatever. The point is, you're blowing off tens of thousands of dollars of fireworks.
Yeah, at Lake David.
At Lake David, and this guy's still not paid yet.
Yeah, that's
bullshit. A little bit of a problem.
Yeah,
but this is not just for here. This is all over the place. Yeah. So what's happening now is we're entering this age of Aquarius.
She's an Aquarian.
Yeah.
Little Zhenya's an Aquarian.
So now we have this, we're going from this religious...
Age of Pisces.
Structural thing. Now we're going, this is the creators. Yeah. This is our time for creators.
That was ego. This is now.
Yeah. So now we're in this place where there's this reality check. It's like, okay, y'all, that was fine for then, but this is a new world.
Can we switch it up a bit?
And we're switching it up, and now it's a time for us to start taking better care of each other, of the earth.
Planet.
Let's bring forth the arts. Let's bring forth the music, the poetry, the dancing. Let's bring forward the beautiful stuff.
So it's a renaissance again, isn't it?
Yeah, in a great way. Better than ever. Yeah, but we don't need to be blowing each other up, dropping bombs on each other. No. We don't need to be in this scarcity mentality. Well, gosh, if I help Sarah become a multimillionaire, what's going to be there for me? No, it's not a zero-sum game. We've been taught that if Sarah wins, Tia Jolie loses. If Tia Jolie wins...
my world.
No, our world is one of helping each other, both of us succeeding.
Yeah.
we're in a place now where we're like, no, if we're smart, we're creative. If we work together, we can do a lot more than just one of us by ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where we're going.
Yes, it's a lost sensibility.
And the other thing is,
we were told to compete and get ahead and strive.
Well, and that's a very male, that's a male mindset. Yeah. And when I say male, I'm not talking about what's in your underwear. I'm just saying it's the energy associated with the male dominance,
yes.
the logical, structural,
which is necessary. You've taken the piss.
But we got to find the balance.
Yeah.
Because right now I was reading some excerpts. I have to do a deep dive on this. The Gospel of Mary. The Gospel of Mary. Oh my
Mary
goodness.
Magdalene or the mother? Is it the girlfriend? Mary Magdalene, Jesus'
girlfriend.
I
mean, you can name. It was Jesus's peer.
Concubine.
See, and that's the BS. That's the BS that the modern world.
Well,
wants
that's the modern world. She was the harlot, wasn't she? And she was always
because she couldn't
painted
have,
in such a poor light.
She couldn't have been the favor of all the disciples. She could not have been the favor because she was a woman. But the truth is, when you do the forensics and they're starting to piece together the Gospel of Mary, you're finding that she was the favorite of the disciples, and she was to receive his blessing to carry on after he's gone.
Wow.
Now, that would be a problem
in a patriarchal society.
In a very not only patriarchal, but when you do the deep dive on the Gospel of Mary, you're going to come unglued. I can't wait now. In a not a very good way.
Oh, I can't wait to do this.
So, Gospel of Mary.
So, if you've got a link to send me, send it.
Well, I'll have to dig back on it.
That's fine.
It's been about a week.
Yeah, I would like to have a look at that.
But we have to ask better questions. That's the whole point.
So, in my novel, The Starside Prophecy, I'm Mary Magdalene.
That's freaking cool. Yeah.
So you'll have to read it to find out.
I don't remember putting that together.
It was very subtle.
Okay,
it was very subtle.
Because I read the book and I just didn't.
And I was describing his death on the cross, and I was doing it from me. And I remember I was talking about my life at Mary Magdalene when he was on the cross, and then his mother and his sister were there.
Oh, man.
So it was a very small part, but it's intense. And it doesn't actually come out for a while. So I
can't believe I missed that. I mean, that's like a really important part because, to me, this whole discussion of I'm not going to say I'm religious or spiritual, but, there are a lot of archetypes.
You're spiritual, darling, for God's sake.
I'm soulful.
Yeah. I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, similar words. But, there's a lot of these archetypal personifications that come out. And they come out in all across the world in different shapes and sizes. I'm not so much concerned, or I really don't care about what some isolated tribe thinks or feels about something, whether it's the Canadians or Australians. I don't care.
Fakawi tribe.
It doesn't really matter. What we should be looking to do is, what do we see that's in common? What is the tribe in the Alaskan? The Inuits. What did they see and perceive from their soulful self? Mm-hmm. Soul Decodes, right? Mm-hmm. What are they decoding with their souls versus maybe the people in Polynesia?
Right.
Very different cultures. Sure. What do they have in common? What are they?
Yeah.
What are
their best points?
Right.
What are their progressive ideas?
So if you pull them out, because I think that in order for, my position is that we're all fractals. Each one of us is a soul fractal of the infinite. Mm-hmm. So if you look at fractals, when you take an individual fractal, you can actually look at it and it's got the complete image of the whole within it. Mm-hmm. That's what a fractal is. But it's diluted. But when you bring them all together, just like pieces of a puzzle, you bring them together, the confluence of those fractals represents the whole.
And that's God.
Which is the one.
The source.
The source.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I think you're gonna really
I completely agree with that.
You're gonna really like the deep dive you do on Mary. Mary.
Yeah.
The Gospel of Mary.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's other gospels. There's the Gospel of Thomas. There's all. I've mentioned before that...
Has someone put a new Bible together with all these Gospels and created 66 books? You could keep some of those. You could keep the Gospel. You could keep the writings of St. Paul. But it seems to me there's enough information too. Well, what if the Bible had taken on this? And then new books were put into it.
Well, I think
it's probably
it's
done,
brilliant.
hasn't it?
I think we need to probably do that.
We should do it. Smart books.
Let's do smart books. But the other part of it is, the closest complete Bible before the Council of Nicaea in the 4th century. They had the Emperor Constantine, who was an absolute bastard. Right,
he just needed to unify people to control them.
Well, he needed to take the power away from the people to centralize it,
and give them a common religion.
And if you disagree with this common religion that the Pope, that the Emperor put in place, we got a burning stake for you.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, do or die.
We got to
convert or die.
Convert or die. So everything went underground. The best thing we can find right now that represents the complete, unadulterated so-called Bible would be the Ethiopian Bible.
Right.
So, and I
haven't had a look at that, so I'm going to go on and
and I'm not going to pretend to know everything that's in there, but based on
isn't Ethiopia
what I'm putting together.
It's the oldest civilization on the planet, is before the Egyptians, the Phoenicians, the Ubaidans. Ethiopia is the oldest culture, I've heard.
I don't know.
That, yeah.
I don't know.
But interesting that they had a Bible. I'd like to know the differences in that.
I think what we're going to find out in the next couple years is the importance of Africa. In our culture.
Well, they dug up this skeleton, and she was a little thing, and they called her Lucy, and apparently she was 3 million years old, and she looked just like a human. But we're told biblically that it was 4,000 years before Christ. Suddenly, Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden 6,000 years ago. It's just a joke to me.
Yeah, I think I'm excited that you're actually at a place where you're joining me to question the narratives.
Oh, yeah. Well, I already did. And is this the best God could do? I already did that 20 years ago.
Right.
This is a fucking joke, and this is why,
I got to thinking about that because I was watching this video. It came across my social media, and it showed clips of the 1970s, what it was like to be a child in the 70s.
That's me.
And we were such free-range kids.
We were.
We didn't wear helmets. The only thing Mom and Dad said was, my mom was like,
be home at 6 p.m.
When the street light goes on, you're home.
Oh, that's good. And there's dinner.
And
my mum had no clue where I was, none at all. I could have been 40 feet away or 11 miles away.
My mom...
And nothing ever happened to us. Just nothing happened to us. There's not one thing I remember. I fell off my bike and needed some stitches under my chin. Other than that, it was all, we just had so much. Tony, my husband, refers to me as being quite feral, and he's right in a way. because
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Because I had no structure. My mum was hardworking. She'd want us out the house. She'd want a bit of peace and quiet. She had loads of jobs. She'd always cooked meals and we were always taken care of. But other than that, we raised ourselves from a very young age. I could walk to the corner store that was about a quarter of a mile away at age 5. Just got there by myself.
So let's talk about being feral. What does that even mean? Because I was very much feral.
I didn't have any restrictions or boundaries, any guidance. I was just left alone to raise myself. I mean, I had school and I had parents and grandparents, so I was within a family structure, but nothing was required of me. I wasn't required to do anything, be anywhere, have any chores, absolutely nothing. And it was my mum's way, I think, of compensating for this horrible predicament that her choices had put us in. So it's like, just go and be free. And there was nothing demanded of me. It's
so fascinating to hear you because I was in a very structured environment, only within the context of the church. There was the church life, the school life, the family life had to be structured because we had a bunch of kids, right? And just a very small space because we weren't really rich or anything. We had to share rooms. Like nobody had their own room. Everyone shared room. Like you literally had the same 10 square feet. Like it was just, this is your space. These are your 2 drawers in the dresser. Mm-hmm. This is your 2
hanging
feet
space.
2 feet in the hanging space in the closet. That's it. So we really had to kind of...
Did you keep it all tidy? Were you respectful of keeping this tiny room tidy or not?
I emotionally blocked most of it, so I can't remember.
Probably not then.
But I do remember loving to go outside. I hated to be
Right.
indoors. Both of my parents were smokers. So I spent as much time outside as we could.
Away from the
Well, I was always in trees climbing.
We were outside.
We were outside like all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
We were fixing bicycles. We'd break them, we'd fix them. We'd break them, we'd fix them. But you know,
And did you explore? Because I was a bit of an
Well,
explorer.
and
I'd
it-
take my bike around, and I'd like looking at the
always,
countryside.
always.
Yeah.
But you know what's fascinating? If this is very different than today's world, because in today's world, like what we used to do, if there was a moving truck, let's just say that 3 streets over there was a moving truck, and they were downloading furniture into the house. First thing we would do is we
Go
would
off and help.
ride our bikes over there and see if there are any new kids.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to offer to help.
Oh no, man. We'd want to see what. We'd want to see if there's new kids, man. And
Yeah.
do you play baseball? Do you play softball? Do you play
Right.
what do you do?
Yeah.
Like we would literally be that
I
curious.
remember when a girl, Samantha, my daughter's called Samantha. I wonder whether that's got anything to do with it. But she moved in next door, and she was just a year younger than me, and that was great. I had this new friend. So yeah.
So we'd always just be very curious, and if there was something, if there was in England,
And was it like a gang of you? Because if we were out, it's probably like about 4 or 5 of us. We'd all just be riding our
well, I
bikes.
mean, I think it changes over the years. My best friend, his name was PJ.
Oh yeah, you've talked about him.
Yeah, he was my friend when we were young, but then he started drinking a lot and doing
Mm-hmm.
drugs and stuff. So I kind of created a little bit of distance from that. I still loved him as a friend, but he just started hanging around with new people. Therefore, so did I. So I think we change over the years.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is one thing people don't get is friendships, central to friendships. Yes, there's mutual respect. There's those things, but friendships are based on common interests. And it's very difficult to have a group of friends if you don't have shared ideas about things, or if you have the interest in learning things. For instance, I love my brothers. My one brother, I might talk to him once a year. I love him dearly, but we have nothing in common.
Yeah.
If there was one thing in common, we would talk
You
about
could
it.
anchor yourself around that.
When the Detroit Lions football season starts, we'll probably have one thing in common. We'll talk about Lions football.
And was that
and
like
that's it.
that throughout your life?
No, I mean, we were musicians, we were athletes.
So you did share interests when you were younger.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole family, wherever, most of it was around the church, because there was the church, the worship.
And how's he with the church now? Is he a believer or an atheist?
Don't know.
No. Because you
Don't
only
know.
speak to him once a year.
I don't know. My phone always rings in. But, you know, people have their worlds. There's friendships are built on common interest. When we moved to Central Florida, Sarah, we knew 0 people. We know hundreds of people now. I can literally pick up the phone right now and probably call 15 people. Hey, I need to move some things. Can you come and help me?
Yeah.
And most of those would come and help.
Yeah.
Right?
And you do the same.
And I would do the same. Why? Because we mutual respect, mutual admiration, kindness. We're looking for those elements, those character traits that we want to see in others. So as we mature, we kind of say, yeah, that's the type of person I'll let in my inner circle. Maybe not the innermost circle, like you're not going to come in my bedroom, but certainly maybe we'll have you over for
Yes.
a dinner or lunch or something, right? So you just, as you get more familiar, family, right? Familiar, you let them closer and closer in your circles. There have been people where we say, yeah, you get bumped out to the next line. Like
Got
you get
demoted.
bumped out to the next circle
Yes.
because you're misbehaving or
Yes.
you're
I've done that.
most of all, it's when
It's
you're
an energetic disalignment for me.
yeah, and it's also when your actions and words don't match.
Yeah.
When your actions and words don't match,
Yeah. Then that's just a veneer that you're.
it's like, wait a
Postulating
minute,
to
yeah,
me.
you need to bump out a circle till
Yeah.
I figure this out.
Yes.
You just create that little distance. So,
Yeah.
but
How to manage friendships one-on-one.
well, it's so true.
I don't think it's necessarily, you don't have to agree. I mean, you and I agree on most things, I think. There's some things we don't agree on. It's not like you have to agree with that person. They don't have to be like you, sound like you, look like you. But you do have to you can share common points or just share interests. I mean, my brother, Zhenya, says that I'm nothing like my brother. We're just nothing alike, but we have to build a friendship, and we do, and we've known each other 50 years. We do have commonalities because we've been through a lot together as kids, but I don't think you don't have to agree with someone. But to me, I've had a hard time making friends in Florida because I'm not a Christian. In fact, I dismantled Christianity. So that was quite difficult for me to make friends, because when someone got wind of that, I'm interpreted as being the Antichrist or heretical, or I don't believe in Jesus died for my sins. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. So that was a blocker in forming friends in the Bible Belt, which is where we are. I do have 2 Christian friends, and they know that I have nothing to do with their belief system. So that's nice. But that was an issue moving here, because I was considered very radical in my beliefs, and people didn't want to hear them, and I ended up not sharing them. It was just, this is what I believe. I don't care whether you believe what I believe. I'm just going to live in my quantum field and try and manage it.
I think it's lovely, and I think you're going to, again, love the Gospel of Mary. One of the things that, I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but I want you to know that one of the messages that was forbidden to get out was that there's no such thing as sin.
Yeah, that was the biggest controlling mechanism there's ever been. Make a whole populace of people feel shitty about themselves right out the gate.
Yeah. So when you read,
how to disarm
so that was a major message. So any of the Gospels that said, because Jesus shared with Mary, there is no sin. Sin does not exist.
No, it's a choice.
It's a control mechanism.
Will, yeah.
And that's why he got pissed off at the Sadducees and Pharisees, because they had this legal structure, this, if you do this, this happens. All of these codes and these guidelines and these laws and rules and regulations. And Jesus is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's not.
I mean, the concept of sin and that someone else is going to pay the price for it and has done, and they were the scapegoat. So Zhenya and I were talking on the way over here, and she was telling me about some of the stories because she was bullied when she was at school. And one of them was that I think it was one where she was tied to, I can't remember which one it was, but she had a few. Anyway, so she was bullied in this classroom, and she was sent to another classroom. And the teacher stood up in the class that she left behind, and they said, "Where's Zhenya? Where's Zhenya?" And the teacher said, "Well, you've bullied her, so she's been sent to another classroom." And I just thought how fucked up that was, but it's not unlike, she's now the scapegoat for some bullshit that she didn't create.
It's so interesting because when I was in West Palm Beach, I was a brand new bass player, and I played bass for a band. They were a good band, but the members of the band oftentimes didn't behave themselves, as band members sometimes don't do.
What, sex, drugs, rock and roll type of
that type of thing.
Okay.
But this was a little worse. Like, I'm going to beat my wife and kid.
Oh, wow.
So it was just a really ugly place to be. And as a brand new bass player, I just wanted to play music. But when I saw things going a little bit south, I basically started distancing myself, suggesting that maybe they need to replace the bass player, which would be me. And they wanted to add more rehearsals during the week, because we were already doing 1 2-hour rehearsal. But during that 2-hour rehearsal, 30 minutes of it was out smoking weed. So I'm like, well, my statement was, I don't mind adding another rehearsal, but let's make this first one more effective. Let's get the full 2 hours out of this.
After they smoked this weed, were they more creative and played better when they came back in?
If you ask them.
Yeah, of course.
If you ask them, yes. But the point is, what happened was, I said, look, I'm not going to commit
add more time, because
I'm not going to commit another night of my life, because back then I was still flying airplanes.
For their weed break.
So one evening was a big deal for me, because I was
sure.
a career airline pilot. Yeah. So as a career airline pilot, your days off are precious. So I just basically said, I made the statement in rehearsal, listen, I'm not going to do another day of rehearsal until we get this day productive. We can be more productive here. And
how was that received?
Well, the wife beater lead singer went up to me and basically said, "You're coming Thursday or you're out of the band."
What did you do?
I didn't say a word. I took my bass guitar off my shoulder, put it in my case, snapped my case shut.
Good for you.
Walked out.
Not
even a word.
Nice and dramatic, though.
Not even a word.
But dramatic.
Not even a word.
Yeah.
I was not even to my car, and the drummer and the guitar player were like, no, don't go, because these were bass lines.
And did they persuade you, or did you just say, no, I'm done?
No.
That was it for you?
I'm like, I'm done.
I can't do
Nobody
that.
threatens me.
Yeah.
0 people.
Good for you.
Those people are not the ones that were supposed to come out.
Yeah.
And I told them both, I said, and I wrote a poem, a very lengthy poem after that, because I was so angry. Maybe I'll make a song out of it someday.
I'd love to read it.
But it was called, basically the concept, and it's been years, it's been 20 years probably, but the concept of the song was called "You're the Bully Too." In other words, if you permit somebody to be a bully, you are the bully.
So the aiding and abetting gives you the same
if you
status.
If you don't intervene, because both of those people that came out after me should have been the ones that said to the lead singer,
don't talk
hey,
to her like that.
You need to stand down.
Absolutely.
You're the one that's wrong.
Yeah.
You're the one that's wrong, so you need to be quiet and apologize, and let's get this band back together, because the bass player just walked out, and you're not going to go very far without the bass player, right? Who made 25.
So you were quite irritated at them then, because they just didn't do anything. They were just passive.
Well, I was almost ready to go anyway. So that was just the tripwire that said, I'm done, because you can only take so much. But if there's one error I make, I hang in there too long. I hang in friendships and stuff way longer than I should.
So you've seen the red flags, and you've seen it all come.
I was just looking for the reason to go.
Yeah.
But the point is, the song was to the bystanders, the observers. Those people in the classroom should have stood up, but they've been trained to stand down. Yeah. So the victim gets isolated. Exiled. Yeah. And then the bullies learn.
And then the teacher just said, she's not in this class because you bullied her, but then there was no punishment for the bullies. Right. I mean, what psychological nonsense is the teacher even? Absolutely awful.
Right. So
luckily for Zhenya, though, she preferred it in the class she went to, so it kind of worked out okay. But that is just crazy.
So we need to be. We are in a place now where we need to be more empathetic. We need to stand up. We need to come into our power. So being a bully would be one way to, like, you observe a bully, observing that bully and standing up and saying, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a jerk about it. You can just go, stop. That's not okay.
Years ago,
that's not okay.
Before Zhenya came to us in 2006, it was a couple of years before that, someone had put a Molotov cocktail at it was an Indian restaurant down the end of New Road in Shoreham. And so they'd put this Molotov cocktail, and Mark was really upset because that's my brother, and he knew these people. So he had a friend called Mickey. Now, Mickey was an acrobat, and he was really big guns, and he could kick the shit out of you.
An acrobat?
Acrobat.
Like an acrobat?
Yeah, like something. He tumbled.
Oh, wow.
He could backflip across the room. I mean, this guy was a ninja. Wow. So my brother, so Mickey and Mark went to this, they found out who it was and went round to their house and stood up to them and said, you ever fucking do this again? And I think Mickey might have given him a bit of a punch in the gut. But Mark and Mickey stood up and made sure that this Pakistani, or it was an Indian or Pakistani restaurant, at the end of it, this didn't happen again. But they were willing to get hurt in order to stand up and prevent that, because they could have got the shit kicked out of them. But he went round to the house like, this is not happening, because Shoreham was a lovely, beautiful community, and this was terrible that this happened. So he stood up for it, but most people wouldn't have done that. They would just say, they had a Molotov cocktail stuck in their letterbox, and no one would do anything. They would just carry on with their lives.
So on one end, we've got the people that are permitting the bullying, but nobody walked out with the person that was injured to be with her. Nobody did that. And I think we need to be mindful as empathetic people that we can demonstrate the correct behavior, by actually walking out. Here's an example. Last week, I was in a chamber meeting. It was just a morning coffee, and there's probably 50 people there. And I go just because it's social. When you live on the farm, your closest neighbor's a horse. You need to have some social, right? So it took me about 3 months to join the chamber because I don't really have a business interest there, but I do have an interest in meeting other people and just hanging out, right? Just being social.
Yeah.
And so everyone goes around the room and just says who they are and what they do. And this one girl, she was her first time there. Nobody ever saw her. She was like 2 people over from me. She was speaking, and something she said was very emotional. She started crying while she was speaking, right? Now, I don't know what the trigger was. I don't know what the thing was, but it had to do with her child. So she was speaking. Her reference was to her child and the difficulties they're facing with her child, and she started crying.
Oh.
So now this is a business chamber, right? But we're people first. So I was like I guess I was maybe 5 people away. So I walked behind 4 people in front of her, and I gave her a hug.
Yeah, nice.
And I said, "You're okay. We got this.
That's nice.
We got this."
That's so lovely.
So I just hugged her, and she thanked me. She whispered, she said, "Thank you." Forget the Chamber of Commerce. Forget that you're a plumber, painter, attorney. Realtor. I don't give a rat's ass who you are. You've got a person here that's hurt. She's injured. She's crying. Somebody needs to get off their ass and go hug her, and it doesn't always have to be me.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do is demonstrate this is how you take care of people.
Yeah.
This is how you take care of people.
Yeah, and that's a spontaneous thing for you. You'd want to do that. You'd want to console someone.
Every time.
But most people would just squirm because it's an uncomfortable situation. We're at the Chamber of Commerce and it's very formal. So how did it play out with her? Did she recover and able to talk about her business?
She was able to hold it together for her 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I went right after she finished.
Yeah.
As she was finishing, I was already walking over to her.
That's good.
But the point is, in
both
scenarios,
society would embody. You have to be that person.
In both scenarios, in the classroom, there was the room of bullies plus the teacher.
Yeah.
The room of bullies. That's what I said. Because until they opt out of that system and go help the person that was injured, they remain the bully.
Yeah.
They either need to intervene and say, "No, that's not okay."
Yeah. We want Zhenya back. She should.
We want Zhenya back.
Yeah.
That's the correct action.
Yeah.
The second correct action was, well, if that's not going to happen, I'm going in that room with her.
Right.
So she's not sitting there alone.
Yeah.
That's the second correct action. So
it's so interesting. I think with young children, I think you're all about 10. Zhen, was this around 10 years old? Yeah. So they're little 10-year-olds sitting there. But it would be nice for them to have... This would just be, what would you do if this was happening? So it doesn't have to happen, but you just put this to the children. Okay, we just present this. And then talk them through what it means to be a civilized, loving human being. But no one's done that, obviously.
Well, I think it starts with, I mentioned this before, the words en la cache a la kin. Do you remember me mentioning those words?
Yes, I do. I don't remember what it means.
En la cache a la kin. It's an Aztec greeting that says... when I see you, I see the light within you.
Yes.
And I recognize you as another one of myself.
So that's like namaste. Then.
Yeah, it's a derivative of namaste. Yeah. But the idea is when I see your light, I greet the light.
Yeah.
And when somebody's being ushered out of the room for being the victim of bullying, that's a piece of light that's leaving you.
Right.
And you need to go connect that light and keep that light spun up and burning. So I think as we learn to treat each other...
Do you want to tell me, should I give a shout out to the teacher that fucked up? I'm just kidding.
That's not a shout out, that's a shout down.
She's cringing, she's laughing, but cringing.
But I will say that was an important foundational experience.
Yeah. Well, that's what we talked about. All of this has actually
what
made
does that
you
mean
who you are
today?
Yes. Yeah.
Earlier today, Robin, she was on the way to Tampa to support some of her people in Tampa. And... we were just talking just prior to the show, and she's listening to a podcast, and there's a SEAL Team 6 member who's talking about PTSD and the use of ibogaine
What's that? What's ibogaine?
Ibogaine is I believe it to be a root from India.
Oh, okay. A plant. Okay.
It's a plant or a root or a derivative from a root. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe it's Central or South America.
Do you put it in a tea? Do you brew it?
I don't know, but you isolate some of the compounds. And when you have somebody that's suffering neurologically,
right,
whether it's from abuse or PTSD or maybe it's a substance abuse problem, it helps normalize the brain.
Wow.
And it does it really quickly, but not in maximum doses. So it's not like an ayahuasca trip.
Right.
You do micro doses. So you're going to hear more and more about ibogaine because Texas is really leaning forward on it.
So is this sold in a pill, or is this something you'd buy as the root, and then
right now you need a practitioner.
Right. So how's it being sold though? Is it something you would smoke or ingest?
Just the opposite. The dumbass lawmakers in the so-called United States of America corporation, they don't want this legalized because it challenges the drug system.
So where can we get some? I'd like to try this.
So I told Robin.
Robin. You try it with me, darling. We'll see what happens to our brain.
Well, I told Robin. So first of all, the guy talking was a special operator, SEAL Team 6, in Texas, and he has huge relief from using ibogaine microdoses under controlled care. It's not a vitamin you pop. Right. It's controlled care microdoses. And I told Robin, I said, I need to know the contact person. I'm going to get a hold of them and do that in Florida. I want to get that in Florida. So
good.
People from all across Florida can come. I'll set up a circle of people.
What, will you grow it?
Well, I don't think you can grow it here. I'd import it.
Well, yeah, you can import it.
Unless it grows here. If it grows here, I'll grow it. But I don't think it grows here.
You know that fruit that I gave you, the seeds, the pits that I gave you last week?
I already got them sprouting.
I've got mine sprouting.
Did they sprout?
Yeah, mine did.
How long did it take?
Oh, well, I left them in a big thing of water outside, and then the rain kept taking the water out because we'd had so much rain over the last 3 days. And then I put them in, as they were cracking, in a towel, a big beach towel, and and it was covered the beach towel in water, so it's dark and wet, lifted it off, and they're all just crazy.
Well, that's exciting because I took them the very same day I put them in water.
They got a little shoot?
Well, I don't have any shoots yet.
Oh, okay.
I
made it happen quickly.
Okay. So anyway, this ibogaine is going to be a really big deal because people with substance abuse issues, it's the antithesis. It normalizes their brain. So the addiction part of it gets normalized.
Yeah. I would love to try it and see what effect it has. I love experimenting with my consciousness.
It's interesting because the guy that was talking, the SEAL Team 6 person, said, this is fascinating because it affects me. This is exactly what happened to me. When I was younger, the things we did in the military, the operations, was just part of the job. But it's not here till 20 and 30 years later.
It becomes troubling.
40 years later that the nightmares come and it becomes really problematic. So I told Robin, I said, I want this for me too.
Yeah, I want to try it. Let's all try it and see.
Because I need to study a little bit more.
I'd like to study myself. I'd have to be at home in clinical conditions. I'd have to be in my bedroom. And I just want to see because I can turn my attention inwards, what's going on with this.
Well, it would be there would be a clinician. So I've got a bunch of medical doctors and practitioners. You'd actually go to a clinician.
Okay, so I'd like to do that.
Yeah. If I can get it here in Florida, I might need to just pound down the governor's door and talk about it. But if Texas,
they have it in Texas then.
They're pushing hard in Texas, but they have legislators that are opening the door to it. So if we can do it in Florida, I really would love to do it in Florida.
I love that. It's right up your street. With
there's so many of us that have suffered.
Yes. But it doesn't even have to be that you have PTSD in the way that you did. And I know that was terrible. There's other things that you can get PTSD from in life generally.
True.
So it could just be a microdose of something that's going to give you some mental inner peace that you were lacking before.
Absolutely.
Just like a little vitamin, like St. John's wort or something. So I'm loving that.
Well,
and that to you, talk about being a serial entrepreneur, darling. There's another business for you.
Well, so here's what I'm going to suggest. I'm wondering if you could take that list, while we're talking about this topic, let her pick a question that she would like us to address. And she can point to it and we'll talk about it.
I'll read it out.
But this whole thing, we're at a place now where we, the people, are bringing power back to us. We're no longer going to permit stupid politicians to make stupid decisions. And one of the things, like I want to grow hemp. I want to grow industrial hemp. When you start studying the value of hemp and hemp fibers, like one of the things you and I talked about is I would love to find a bunch of people who are really skilled with putting together clothing. And I want to get them whatever natural fibers they want, whatever they need, put them in a place that they're cool and comfortable and taken care of, and tell them create things with these beautiful fibers. It could be clothing or linens or whatever.
Soft furnishings.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to do. But I want natural fibers. Yeah. Selfishly, I'd like somebody to be able to tailor for tall. We talked about it was for tall women.
Yes.
I still want a duster. I want a duster that's freaking beautiful and long.
So hang on, what's a duster? Is that a muumuu? What's a duster?
Oh no, a duster is it's
a gown.
Think of it like a trench coat.
Oh, okay.
But it goes all the way to the ground.
Oh, I like that.
So I'll use like it literally goes straight to the ground.
Yeah, very Keanu Reeves, like
very much like that. So, but I totally want one, but I don't want it synthetic. I want it the real deal.
I can see that right down to the ground, padded shoulders, black.
And you got your boots.
You've got your boots, and you've got your dark glasses.
You got your boots from Alberta, Canada, our newest state.
God. So tell me about that. What do you mean by that? Have you picked a question? Number 10.
Number 10, okay. Alberta is really kind of exerting their authority against the centralized... you just rolled your eyes.
Jesus Christ. God. Okay.
Well, okay.
All right. Well, you did have a pick, and this is...
Don't read it yet.
Okay, all right. So, it's just, yes, Alberta, Canada.
Alberta.
Let's tie that up.
We're going to go squirrel in a minute, and then we'll wrap up. But the Canadian government out of Ottawa has been so oppressive to its members, to its provinces, that several of the western provinces, Saskatchewan, British Columbia, and Alberta, to name a few, are disgusted. They're like, y'all are doing everything your way, and there's nothing in it for us. We can do better for ourselves than you're doing for us.
Rebellion.
It's a rebellion, and it's awesome. It's basically the 1776 Americans saying, F you, we're on our own. So there's this big thing now about whether they're going to secede from the current situation, whether they end up staying as part of Canada
or just being
identical. They can just form Western
their own
country,
call
just
it something completely new,
completely different.
Yeah.
Or whether they become one of the United States, whatever it is.
What do you think Trump would think about incorporating that part?
Trump's the person that we are seeing that's playing the role of Trump, right? That person, which I think is operating on behalf of the American military, not the U.S. military, but the American military. I think that person is stirring the water.
Because he wants it. He wants this rebellion.
Well, this rebellion represents what every country in the world...
it's an example of what could happen.
So whether or not Alberta makes a change, the important thing is that they're making the stink.
Yeah.
They're showing that
and if they make the change and they take it to the limit, that really is an example of that's actually quite a radical thing to happen, because people won't put up with this shit anymore because they'll see that it's successful to rebel. Now you've got your own country, or you've emerged with a bigger one.
It's no different than being married to the wrong person. If the relationship's not working for you, and it's all one way, and not like you're doing everything and they're contributing nothing to the relationship, it's time to leave.
Yeah.
It's time to leave. And that's kind of, and the signs and symptoms were there for years and years and years and years. And they just had too much. They've had enough of it. And now Ottawa's come in and saying, oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, does the marriage work? Maybe it's too little too late. Maybe they'll make redemption. Don't know.
Maybe they'll compromise.
Maybe
they'll change. Let's watch this space.
But I just want to let the people of Alberta know that we love you. And you deserve good things, whether it comes from...
Stand up for yourself.
Yep. Whether it comes from you doing your own thing or Canada recompensing, or whether you want to be part of the States, we welcome you. Mm-hmm. You can come and visit Florida, and I'll make you lunch.
There you go.
Right? So we love you. Okay, so we have a question. So
all right. So
tell us, Sarah, what are these questions? What are these? Sarah, what are these questions?
So you're going to have to. It's just one question, and I'm going to field it to you. Oh, okay. So the questions are from Rosie. These are Rosie's questions, and Rosie understands us more than we understand ourselves because she has done the summaries, which I've edited to all our conversations. This is number 47. So Rosie is intimate with our subject matters. So she's put out this question: what do the dead say about the living? I'll leave that for you to start.
What do the dead say about the living?
Say about the living?
Well, I'm trying.
You don't know. We have no fucking clue what they say.
I'm trying to put. So there's the dead. If we're just talking about a dead, decaying human carcass.
No, we're talking about the dead. I would say we're talking about the dead on the other side, assuming there is the other. That's how I would like. If there's a heaven, what are they saying about us? I think they're saying, "I love you. Good job. Keep it up. You're a warrior. Hang in there. It's not as bad as you think. Don't take it too seriously." I think that's what they'd be saying about the living. So,
I have a very similar take. So when you talk about the dead, you're talking about all of my parents, their parents, their parents, their parents, their parents, forever, forever, forever. I am actually, when you think about it, all of those people that came together and had families and children for generations of love and generations of caring and everything, I represent the confluence of the infinite number of parents that I've had. So I'm representing the confluence of love and care and compassion for freaking hundreds of generations.
So the dead are embodied within you.
So I carry with them the dream. I am their dream, and I am their progeny, and I'm carrying forward the light and the love that they put into me.
Very nice.
So that's my take on that. Part of that, if there is a reincarnation aspect, part of that group that may or may not be part of my own bloodline would be my past self or selves, whatever I've experienced before, being a cheerleader for my current self.
Yes.
So all of those cheerleading, now the cheerleading that I perceive, it's no different than you and me going to the amusement park and there's this freaking state-of-the-art high velocity roller coaster, and she gets on it.
You're not going to drag her on.
And she's having
the last one.
She's screaming, she's scared, she's loving it, she's doing all of these emotions.
Yeah.
She's scared to get onto it, and when she's done, she wants to do it again.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I see this life as.
And that's what the dead people will be telling us.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll be saying, just have fun with it.
Have fun. Don't take it too seriously.
It's a freaking roller coaster.
Yeah.
You're going to have ups. You're going to have downs. Have fun with it.
Yeah. Good.
Live life. Don't worry about the next dip in the roller coaster because there ain't nothing.
They advise us to be present and enjoy it.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
Cheerleaders. They're just cheerleaders. Dead people are cheerleaders.
I don't know. What are your thoughts? Okay. No thoughts. Nothing to add. Okay, she's being shy. So what else? Anything else on that?
No, I'm just God bless the cheerleaders cheering me on.
But think of it this way. When we change and we make our transition this time, we're going to still be cheerleading for the future selves.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is like waves hitting a shore. Can you define, what defines one wave? Is it the same wave?
It's the entire ocean, isn't it?
It's the entire ocean. It's just constant.
Yeah.
It's just a wave after wave after wave. And then what we represent is just another iteration of all of the past, and we represent the future waves to come.
I think one of the phrases that I always liked, it was listening to Rick Archer, Buddha at the Gas Pump. For anyone listening, if you want a good grounding in Eastern philosophy, Buddha at the Gas Pump is it's a podcast. And he says that we're God's sense receptors. Everything is.
I'll buy that.
Everything.
I'll buy that.
Minute, that's what we are.
I like that. That's really cool. I like that. So, well, let's go ahead and wrap up.
Well, that was lovely.
You know what? We didn't even talk too much about the wedding. Any highlights, lowlights?
Well, we can talk about the wedding, the next one.
Okay.
Yes, we can talk about it then, and I can talk about the follow-up trip to Mexico because it's like a double whammy. So we'll talk about that.
It sounds good.
All right.
Well, Zhenya, I hope you have a good stay here in Florida. And Sarah, thanks again for joining us.
It's been lovely.
Y'all are listening to Soul Decodes. Go to souldecodes.com. Drop us a note. Listen to some of our past episodes. And if anything here gave you some benefit of any kind, please share with others.
Yeah,
we appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Soul Decodes, a feature presentation, airs every Friday on the Earth Angel Media Network. This episode of Soul Decodes is sponsored and produced by Live Pure. Optimize your life by taking your health to the next level. Listen now to learn how Live Pure will make your world better.
Live Pure is an American-based distribution system of online portals that give discounted access to clean, potent, natural, and ethically sourced healthy solutions for fat loss, muscle gain, immaculate skin care, immune system support, whole body cleanse, physiological balance, and performance support for athletes of all ages. Live Pure handpicks the best products and nutrients from world-class companies, always adding to their quickly growing wellness lineup that now includes Korean skincare, medical-grade nutraceuticals listed as pharmaceutical alternatives in the physician's desk reference, and healthy coffee that rivals the world's best, but for only about $1 per cup. Soul Decodes listeners looking for vitality, youth, beauty, and better health can get 25% off retail by visiting livepure.com/Sarah Tirri and signing up for free as a preferred customer. If you are a content creator, influencer, or home-based entrepreneur looking for worldwide cash flows from the emerging gig economy, Live Pure's state-of-the-industry brand partner affiliate program can bring you up to 7 different payment vectors as bonuses. As a content creator aligned with Live Pure and Earth Angel Media, you will enjoy massive co-marketing benefits, including a cutting-edge website that is personally branded to you or to your business. Sign up as a brand partner at livepure.com/Sarah Tirri, or drop us a note at connect@earthangelproject.com to get more information.